Hi everybody, this is Dr. Ishwari. Today I am going to give a small introduction about capital budgeting techniques. In the previous class we already discussed about what is the capital budgeting. Today class I will give a brief introduction on the capital budgeting techniques. Every organization, whether it is a small scale or medium scale or large scale or whatever it may be, they must have to allocate the capital in different areas. So how they can be determined how much of the amount will be required to invest in that proposal. So these techniques will be helpful for them. So what are the techniques? One is the traditional methods and modern methods. Today's session I will give the information on the traditional methods. So what are the traditional methods? These traditional methods will be helpful to determine how much of the amount will be required for that each investment proposal. So based on that, the interest received and how much of the years will take to revert back the amount. So based on that, we will use these methods. So in these methods, we'll discuss about the payback period method and ARR method. ARR nothing but accounting rate of return method. Payback period return method means how much of the years will take to revert back our initial outlays. So in the payback period method, we will have some merits and demerits. So we will discuss about the merits. It is one of the earliest method. In olden days, most of the people are using these payback period methods. Why? Because we had to start any business. So for that business, for expansion of that business, if we had to introduce any machinery or any technology or whatever it may be for enhancing the production capacity and to reduce the cost. So we need to spend some amount, but we will get some confusion. How much of the years will take to recover the initial outlay? So at that time we need to calculate some. So for that situation, most of the people are using payback period methods. And this is very simple to understand. This method is very simple to understand. It's very easy to understand. Why? Because there is no sophisticated calculations we are not using here. So that's why we can easily understand. It does not involve any cost. For calculation of the payback period, it does not involve any cost. So that's why we can easily use that method. It is widely used method in small scale industries also. Already told before the session. In small scale industries or very micro industries also, they can use the payback period methods. And it can be computed on the basis of the accounting information. How we can calculate the accounting period method? Based on the existing information of the accounting books, we have to use. Based on that, we are going to calculate the payback period method. At the same time, we have some demerits also. So what are the demerits? This method fails to take into account the cash flows received by the company after payback. After that, identify the payback time. We should ignore how much of the time will take to revert back the amount. Up to that only had to be considered. After that, most of the people are ignored. That is also the profit, but they should not take it into consideration. And it should not take into account the risk factors. Here you should not consider the risk factors also. At the same time, the rate of interest also should not be considered here. So that's also one of the demerit. And it ignores the time value of the concept also. What is the time value of the concept? Actually, today value may not be the same after 1 year. Why? Because if we had to compare the gold value, before 1 year, the value 1 gram of the gold equal to 3,000 rupees. Right now, 1 gram of the gold equal to 4,600 rupees. What did happen? Rupee value is going to be reduced. Every year, every day, the value is going to reduce. So that's why we need to be consider the discounting factors also. In these methods, the discounting factor values are ignored. So this is also one of the demerit in that payback. Okay, coming to the second point, accounting rate of return. Accounting rate of return will be helpful to determine the return will get from that project. This information also will be in that books of the accounts. So from that we can take and calculate the accounting rate of return. But in that accounting rate of return, some of the merits and demerits also there. The merit side is very simple to understand and calculate. This method is very easy and we can easily calculate and we can easily understand. Why? Because the information already available in that financial statement. From that financial statement, we can take the information, then we can go to the calculations. So that's it is very easy and we can easily understand. Any layman also can calculate the accounting rate of return. It can be readily computed with the help of the available accounting data. This information already available in the financial statements. So from that financial statement, we can calculate. So the profit also already calculated. This information will be put in the financial statements. So from that we can calculate. It uses the entire stream of the earnings to calculate ARR. Not only the new machinery, every machinery we had to take into consideration. So from that information we can go for calculations. Not only you should not take a single stream, the entire streams we have to be considered. So what are the merits are there? At the same time, demerits also will be there. So what are the demerits? It is not based on the cash flows generated by a project. So not only a single project. So all the information we have to take into account. So that's one of the drawback. So we need to consider what are the new projects they have to be adopted. So from that only have to be calculated. And this method does not consider the objective of wealth maximization. So here the wealth maximization concept will be absent. In this method, we should not consider the wealth maximization. It ignores the length of the process useful life. After completion of the useful life of the project, in rest of the periods also it will be working. So from the rest of period, the profit will be generated. Here, that concept will be ignored. It does not take into account the facts. The profits can be reinvested. After getting the profits of the company, the profits will be reinvested in that. This concept we have to be ignored in that. So these are all the merits and demerits of the ARR. And coming to the calculation part of the payback period and ARR. Okay, the first method of the illustration of payback period is, in that payback period, two types of the methods are there. One method is when cash inflows are uneven. Another method is when cash inflows are even. So this is the one of the method. Here the cash inflows are uneven. So that's why here no formulas will be required. So we can calculate based on the cumulative cash inflows. So let's go to the problem. An investment of 2 lakhs is expected to generate the cash flows in 6 years. So the investment of the project is 2 lakhs. How many years will take? 6 years. Every year the cash inflows are the first year to 6th year 30,000, 40,000, 60,000, 70,000, 55,000 and 45,000. What they are asking here, the required information is compute payback period of investment. Should the investment be made if management wants to recover the initial investment in 3 or less? So they want to revert back the initial outlay within the 3 years or less. In case if the period will be excess, the investment should not be made. So let's go to the solution. So this is the solution. I have to given the years in that way, first year to 6th year. Net cash flows are 30,000, 40,000, 60,000, 70,000, 55,000 and 45,000. And coming to the cumulative net cash inflows. First year 30,000, 30 plus 40, 30,000 plus 40,000, 70,000. 70,000 plus 60,000, 1,30,000 rupees. 1,30,000 rupees plus 70,000, 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs plus 55,000, 2,55,000 rupees. 2,55,000 rupees plus 45,000 equal to 3 lakhs. So this is the life period of the project. So up to that life period, the income will be generated up to 3 lakhs. But our target figure is 2 lakhs. How many years they want? Only 3 years or less. So if it revert back within the 3 years or the less within the 3 years, the project will be accepted. But in our calculation, how many years will take? 2 lakhs will be reached here. There is 4th year. The 4th year amount will be recovered. First year, second year, third year and 4th year. But the target year 3 years. But the amount recovered in the year of 4. So that's why here the process should not be taken into account. Okay, in the payback period method, two options are there. When the cash inflows are uneven, when the cash inflows are even. So in these two methods we will be calculated here. So let us go to the problem. Apple Limited has two project options. The initial investment in both the projects is 10 lakhs rupees. Project A has even cash inflows of 1 lakh rupees every year. Project B has uneven cash flows or as follows. Project B has every year they will receive 1 lakh rupees, whereas the project B they have uneven cash inflows. That uneven cash inflows are here when you are taking from first year to 4th year, the cash inflows are varied. 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs and 1 lakh like that. So let's go to the solution. In that project A, formula will be required to calculate the payback period. The formula will be cash outlay or the initial cost of the project. How much of the amount had to be invested in that project? How much of the investment amount are there? That value, nothing but the cash outlay divided by annual cash inflow. How much of the amount will receive every year during the life period of the project. So that is the value. So in that problem, what they have mentioned here, 10 lakhs rupees or the project value. Every year, project A has received 1 lakh rupees. So when I had to implement the values in that problem, 10 lakhs rupees is the initial investment. This is the 10 lakhs rupees of the initial investment of the project. Project A has received 1 lakh rupee as a cash inflow every year. So 1 lakh rupee, 10 lakhs divided by 1 lakh equal to 10 years will get to revert back the initial investment. So this is the method A. For project A, we implemented the method 1. For project B, we will implement the second method. The second method will take from the values. So first year 2 lakhs, second year 3 lakhs, third year 4 lakhs and the fourth year 1 lakh. So the amount will be recovered at the year of the fourth. So means in case of the project A, it will take 10 years to recover the amount. In case of the project B, 4 years will enough to recover the amount. So which is the best project? Comparing to A, B is the best one. So here they can go for investment. Thank you.